Hello and welcome to today's video. Just coming to you from Hamilton again. Another lovely day, autumn day here in New Zealand, and I'm out again, enjoying the sun and nature. Just been for quite a walk, just stilling my mind, so to speak. And on that walk I came up with a few thoughts which I'll try and convey to you through this video. And just prior to starting, today's topic is going to be colours. And I just wanted to sort of talk again about some of these synchronicities that happen in life that come about and might steer people in a particular direction. So as at this morning when I woke up, I didn't really have a clear idea as to what the topic of today's video was going to be. But again, I knew something will pop up, and it did. So I went for a quick shop in the supermarket in the city. And I was walking around there, and I was dressed exactly like I am in this video, so a sort of a yellowy shirt and a very multicoloured jacket. I had my buff on, which is multicoloured, got most of the colours of the rainbow in there, and I've got crimson pants on. So I guess in a way quite distinct, but carrying the light, which is what I try to do in all facets of my life. So walking around the supermarket, and I was just looking on one of the shelves and just bending down, and a young person came up to me, I guess no older than about 20 years of age, and said, "Excuse me, I really do look like your outfit. It's so bright and colourful." And we had a fairly brief chat, and I thanked her very much and for bringing light to me by saying that, and I was very grateful that I could bring some light to her moment in time. And of course we just briefly talked about you know, a lot of people wearing the sort of lesser colourful outfits, so you know, you've got the greys and the blacks, etc. And at the conclusion of the discussion, I just passed her one of my mission cards and said to her, well, I've got some videos out there, so you know, if you get some time, go and have a look, and hopefully they add some more light to your being, which is really the purpose of these videos. So just a few things thinking about. Went for a walk in nature, and nature, the colour of nature is predominantly green. So we're surrounded with nature. Of course, as we get into the cities, less so. In my travels, which again I've been on the road 4.5 years and spending a lot of time out in nature, I've surrounded myself by nature predominantly. And as part of the overall spiritual journey that I talk about, I talk a lot about how when one surrounds oneself with stuff, they become like it. And I've had a particular video on nature, and how nature is in us and we are in nature, and how important it is. But given that today's topic is colours, I just wanted to talk about colour green initially. So in the chakras, the colour green is associated with the heart. And it is from the heart that one's unconditional love flows. So when I'm talking about the whole conduit for light, or conduit for energy, the light predominantly comes in through the crown chakra, circulates down through all the other chakras, circulates around the heart, down to the root and back up. And it manifests itself through the heart, through how we approach others, the unconditional love that we can show to others. And I call that the perpetual love. So it's the love of the universe. And it is so important in life to follow your heart. But one needs to be in balance to follow their heart, because if one has everything else or lots of other parts of their being out of balance, it's going to probably lead to some decisions which are not, how I would say, pure of heart. It's a fairly common term, be pure of heart. So the colour green is really the most powerful of the colours that one could absorb and utilise in terms of their journey, in terms of direction. I follow my heart now. I mean, God wouldn't have given me my heart if I wasn't supposed to follow it. It's kind of a term, and I'm not speaking of that in a religious context. So that's just a quick summary leading into a more general discussion on colours, or I've got some specific examples just later on in this talk. There's just one other thing that's happened this morning. I parked my motorhome up in a car park near the river and near nature and went for a walk. The first thing I did, I met a young lady, she was just exercising by the river. She also was a traveller, so she had a van. We had a quick chat, but what she was just doing was she was just putting a fairly large dumbbell back into her van. She'd been exercising by the river, so she'd been doing some strength work. And I went for my walk, and 15-20 minutes, and I came back, and just in the distance she was still there, but she'd actually changed into an orange yellowy kind of dress. And I came up to just up the mound here to set up for my video, and pulled out my Chakra tarot deck because I had a particular card in mind to pull out. But at the top of the deck, the first card of the top of the deck I'll just show to you is this card. And the card is the card Strength. And as you can see, it's dominated by orange and yellow. So the orange of the creativity and the yellow of the strength, the power center. So just another little piece of synchronicity there. I went over and said to her, hey, I'm just doing this video, and guess what card came up? I'm not too sure if she has any real understanding of the, or interest in tarot or spiritual matters, but I said, here, take some strength with you. But obviously, coincidentally, you were doing some strength work, and coincidentally, you've put on a dress sort of orangey yellow, and this turned up. So yet again, I talk a lot about synchronicity, and it happens. I've pulled out another card from the tarot deck that I'm going to speak about. Oh, and I just wanted to mention above me is a tree, so again representative of the tree of life, very, very symbolic. So again, I'm really tying in, when I do these videos, symbology and matters from the spiritual world. And the other card I pulled out, which really there was no option but to pull it out, consciously pull it out, was the card the World. So the card the World represents everything really. It's the last card of the major arcana, so the major aspects of one's spiritual journey. And as you can see in there, there's all the colours of the rainbow and the flowers on the tree behind, and the Fool has gained enlightenment by the white light coming out of the crown chakra. To show that again, and wearing a white, pure white dress. So I pulled that out, and just speaking of the indication of that card, the world brings the energy to us in stillness. Spirit finds us and delivers our wishes. So in stillness, in nature, getting rid of the distractions, tuning into as many aspects of the chakras and spirituality as one can, the universe is much more likely to turn up, or should I say it turns up, and it will offer you what you need. And if your wishes are to the universe to bring you what you need, it will. It's when we have the distractions that we just we may not see these signs, or we may not see these messages, or hear these messages, I should say, or see what's around us. We won't see the universe. We'll just see the distractions. So again, I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. It's exactly how it works for me. Now, whether people believe that's the case or not, again, it depends where one is on their journey. But I've come from a place of distractions, and I've come to a place where I'm sitting right now, and it's a wonderful place to be in, and certainly is comparative to perhaps my past being in this incarnation. So that's the colours. I want to get into some specific examples of maybe colour in my life. Favourite colour has always been blue. I did talk about this a little bit in a video I did on blue healing. I also did a writing, short writing on my website now, which is viviendolamahianz.com. And the blue, always my favourite colour, and the blue of the throat chakra. And that has really developed very strongly for me over recent times. my ability to convey words, whether it be through speech, whether it be through speech in terms of talking people one-on-one, through videos, and also I call it my speech through my writing, or my words through my writing. It really has come on leaps and bounds of recent years. Just want to sort of tie in the chakras, and again, I'm not going to go into great detail about it, because it's these sort of information, the theoretical information, is available in just a multitude of places. But I just want to talk about sort of what it means to me. So we've got the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, which the red, orange, yellow, perhaps below the heart chakras, the lower chakras, the red of the root chakra, which rooted to the earth. And all of these chakras need to be activated and balanced. I keep sort of emphasizing that, and that's what's happened in my life. Those lower chakras are ones that really relate to perhaps your below the heart instincts, or below the heart happenings, and the ones above the heart take you to those higher realms that I talk about, or are more the ones that tune you into those higher realms. I mean, it's obviously the third eye, as I spoke about yesterday, and the crown chakra that I've spoke about previously. I just want to relate something in respect of when I did my first ayahuasca ceremony. So the ayahuasca will make you purge. It's purging out things that you need to get rid of from your body. It's a relatively harsh medicine, but a beautiful medicine in terms of the end result. So my first experience, when everything happened, and it's described in detail in my writings, my first purge, when it came out, looked like it was into the bucket. It looked like to me that it was like a bunch of tinsel, lengths of tinsel all bunched together. But the colours of it were red, orange and yellow. And I kind of knew what that meant, but it was really clear to me on my walk this morning what that meant. I needed to get rid of some of the things of the lower realms of the chakras in my being that were holding me below the heart. They weren't allowing me the further spiritual ascension. And I had gone to Peru, and in particular the spiritual retreat for spiritual ascension. So people could think, well, maybe that's just psychosomatic, and you talked yourself into that, and that's what you saw because you talked yourself into it. Well, for me, far, far, far from the truth that it was the universe sending me what I needed. I needed to clean out the things that were holding me back, and therefore subsequent to that I could rise above the heart and open up the higher chakras, which is exactly what happened, and exactly what happened within days. So I was delving right into the third eye. Had already been activated to a fair degree, but it just went next level, and the opening to the universe next level. I'll quickly just one more story. When I did my Sapo experience, which I've detailed in a prior video, that was when I just visited what I believe to be first level heaven. What I saw there as part of that 5-minute experience was a flower. And the flower was a large flower, lots of petals, so rows and rows of circular petals, all shaped as a lot in the shape of hearts, and love hearts, black outline. And the colours that I saw associated with that heart from the inside to the outside were red. The next layers of the petals were orange. The next layers of the petals were yellow, and the outer petals were green. And beyond that were the clouds that I saw earlier in this visual, and they were imbued with the colours blue, indigo, violet. And I realised just again on this morning's walk exactly what that meant. I kind of knew what it meant, but I know exactly what it meant. It meant that beyond the heart the higher realms is the multi-universe. So the lower chakras, which associated with the lower realms of the being, so to speak, or the associated with the earth of the being, were kind of the things that were keeping me constrained. The outer rings of the green was where my heart sat, and I needed to go beyond that, and that's all part of this journey that I talk about, going beyond that. And that's where I believe that, as I say, I saw first level heaven, and that's where the other multi-dimensions of heaven lay. And just the other quick thing about the colours that one sees in these ayahuasca and sapo ceremonies, when I went back to the city of Iquitos after that and went around the shops, it was so clear that in the artwork and the fabrics of the Peruvian local people, that this is where they drew their inspiration from. And I talked to a number of locals as well, and they talk about how they see these shapes and colours in the higher realms, or in these states where they're open to the universe. And I have no doubt that throughout the world that artists channel their inspiration from the universe. So I'm still on the journey. I'm learning every day. I'm seeing things every day, whether it be me walking around in my day-to-day life, or delving deep into meditations, or doing all the other things that my heart suggests I do. Anyway, that's a very brief overview again of colours. If you'd like to read my story, it's on my website. I'll do further videos which go onto my Instagram. As always, I will ask you to enjoy the journey. We will meet when we should. And namaste.